Purpose of the Senator from James City County, Senator Norment, rise.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise in support of the resolution.
Senator, has the floor.
Mr. President, let me begin more for the Fourth Estate than anyone else, but let me begin by offering a disclaimer. I am only speaking as the senator from James City County in no other position whatsoever. Mr. President, as I listen to the senator's remarks, I must echo, we do not have to be here today. We absolutely, positively do not have to be here today. And I compliment the senator from Loudoun who has demonstrated enormous flexibility, compassion, and extending opportunities to avoid us being here today. He has been very gracious. My comments, Mr. President, are going to be focused on two words: hypocrisy and integrity. And I will say, Mr. President, this is not a First Amendment issue with me. It is about hypocrisy and integrity. Let me share something from an intramural experience that we've had. Just a few days ago, the senior senator from Chesapeake approached part of our leadership team. Oh, Chesterfield, I did it again. Cosgrove, I'm sorry. The senior senator from Chesterfield approached members of our leadership about rejoining the Senate Republican caucus. That would be the Senate Republican caucus, where I am very honored to remain at least the titular leader of that caucus. She was told that if she would begin to reestablish trust, the word trust, that the members of the Senate Republican caucus could rely upon, that it would be considered. The very next day, we saw how the word trust was etched on her forehead. She offered what I called an apology, an appalling unapology on it. And in her social media, out of respect for our colleagues in the Senate Republican caucus that she had talked with, she said, I may go ahead and form my own party, the Patriots Party. For those of you on the other side of the aisle who may not be familiar with the Patriots Party, that is the Republican Party that is designed to vote out and provide primary challenges for people that we disagree with. The absolute hypocrisy within almost a 24-hour period, I must say, got my blood pressure up at least 2 points. Integrity. The senator from Loudoun was commenting about the history of this body, and my good friend, the senator from Williamsburg, and others in this body know my passion about the history of the Legislative Assembly in Virginia. I've spent my entire life in the historic Triangle. I had the privilege of chairing the 2007 commemoration. I was very involved in the 2019 commemoration, one aspect of which was honoring the convening of the first Legislative Assembly in this hemisphere. It is very important to me. I've also commented a number of times about what I consider the most iconic senator that I have served with since I have been in the Senate of Virginia, and that's Hunter Booker Andrews. And I have unabashedly said that he, even though he was a Democrat, he was the majority leader, even though he was simultaneously the chairman of finance, he was a very dear friend and a mentor to me. In 1992, he took me aside in the corner of the Senate, and he said, Tommy, and he had known me for many years as an attorney. He said, Tommy, I think one day you may be a leader in the Senate, but remember this. When you come to the Senate of Virginia, you only bring one thing with you, and that is your personal integrity and your forthrightness. That your fellow senators must know that they can rely upon what you tell them. And if you forfeit that personal integrity, then you might as well leave, because you will not have credibility with your fellow senators on either side of the aisle, and the institutional community will not trust you whatsoever. So that is a point of integrity that I deal with. And I feel that the personal integrity has been blatantly violated on the floor of the Senate. And this was only a recent occurrence. In the appalling unapology comments that were made by the senior senator from Chesterfield, she commented that she could have filed a resolution of censure against our President Pro Tem, the senator from Portsmouth. And I heard that unequivocally. She said she did not file it. As I shared with one of our other senators on the Democratic side that I genuinely am very fond of, it's a rare occasion that I ask a question that I don't know the answer to. So I went back and looked about, did she not file a resolution against the senator from Portsmouth? While I personally feel there was no factual basis whatsoever for even making that overture, and obviously it was supported by the Commonwealth attorney in Portsmouth and the judge, Wednesday, January the 20th, 11:49, filed LD number 3337, a resolution of censure against the senator from Portsmouth. At 11:49, an email was sent to the senior senator from Chesterfield. You are over your limit. It cannot be accepted. You are over a limit of 12 and cannot be accepted. That was at 11:49. At 6:08 that same evening, she turned around and filed it again. And to have the unmitigated timidity to stand up on this floor and tell 38 of us that she had not done that is unacceptable to me. All this First Amendment stuff aside, hypocrisy and a violation of personal integrity is totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. And I just honestly, in a prayerful way, as I reflect on the time, the energy, the emotions that we have spent on this issue, I prayerfully wish that she would use that energy and that time on dealing with her own emotional and mental well-being, and it would not just benefit her, but 38 others of it. Thank you, Mr. President.